A small plumber in yellow clothing, seated on my elongated lime green sofa. It was a funny sunny day when I was looking to find something to squint upon. I needed my fix of special video gamer epic computer games. The best place in the world for funny epic computer game pawnage is Joe's Crab Shack. Only the best plugs hang out there. So on this cool and funny sunny day, I found myself sitting down for some crab. When the waiter came to the table, he had oddly orangish purple eyes. I said, "Sir, that's kind of cringe." Now this phrase was immediately something I thought was just not good. I perked up a little and frowned. Gaming is not cringe, sir. In fact, nowadays it's quite popular. Please educate yourself. Wait a moment. I believe you have mistaken me for some kind of baby. I am a waiter. He rebutted while no-clipping through the chair. Seeing such a flagrant disrespect for video games made me almost piss my pants. I stood up immediately, looking down at the no-clipping waiter. "Are you sure? I almost could have mistaken you for a dookie brain," I said as I exited the foul establishment, but not before snapping this photo of the prick. As I walked down the stinky dark sidewalk in downtown Milwaukee, I could see many interesting sights, such as large mouse creatures throwing shit at each other above the exit of the mighty sewer. Milwaukee's kind of a fucked up place, so this didn't seem too unusual at first, until the typical rat-ass fuck creatures, much like my waiter, started to disappear back down into their stinky, smelly holes by one. Strange, since these shit-fest throwing parties were a nighttime hit. This was my first sign something wasn't quite right. I came in my pants. Oops. Thinking about the Pillsbury Doughboys' crusty white cheeks and string bean bread legs to comfort yourself will make that happen. Cute bastard. Anyway, as I was saying, the orgy was off, so I went back to my home and noticed the lack of life outdoors at an hour such as this one. 3 p.m. Milwaukee rat creature. A funny little guy. Coming home at 3 p.m. was not exactly an ideal time for getting home lest some shit fling through the doors. Or fling through the door and plaster your walls with fat dookie by mistake. But with all the shit creatures cowering, it didn't seem so bad. I closed the door with a thwack like some cartoon type shit and collapsed onto my beanbag arsenal from very tired. Imagining in my head a thick pump like a Pegasus from My Little Pony, friendship is magic fluffing their wings. It's nauseating truly. Makes me wanna vomit and piss. I retreated to my bathroom to release the excrement I had been building in my bowels for nearly 3 months. To say that my shit stream started suddenly would be unfair. I plastered the inside of the toilet bowl immediately with powerful pumps of chunky deep red shit. The smell nearly knocked me unconscious immediately, and I puked a little into my lap, feeling the toilet bowl below me shake with the force. Solid turned to liquid and it felt as a waterfall escaping from my body. And now a word from our sponsors. Are you sick of conch, Peppers? I escaped the bathroom with the last of my dignity to find a small plumber in yellow clothing seated in my long lime green sofa. With little hesitation whatsoever, I assaulted this intruder, leaping over the couch and lashing a vicious sideways kick to the little fuck's head. Hopefully that'd knock him out, if not kill him. I went to check on the bastard. He was face down on the ground. As I approached, he jumped up and threw himself into my window, breaking it and escaping my wrath. Needless to be pointed out, I was frickin' pissed. With the window cracked the crap open, it wasn't long before some sort of funky, not very good wind started to roll in. It chilled me seemingly down to my bones, and it wasn't one bit good. Something was out there, and it was fucking up the good Milwaukee vibes. I began to search for the good who was causing all the issues up in this bitch. All over my humble abode, I found a small trail of smelly, disgusting paste trailing to my shed. As I noticed said paste, my phone began a bugle and I looked to see an unrecognizable number, some symbols I had never seen before in my 3 years of life. I swatted the accept call button and raised the small Samsung Galaxy 2 to my large open earlobes and exclaimed, "What is this? Fortnite? Or some kind of other shitty experience?" The other line was nothing but a solemn breathing monkey sound.
Why do you change accents for a second there?
I said to this creature, "What the fuck do you need, buddy? I'm trying to search for the lost cretins of old." The phone bellowed in a deep, dark, devilish voice. "Go to the shed, pussy boy!" This did nothing but put a sour taste in my gullet. I threw my phone on the concrete, smashing it to several thousand shards of nothingness as I to my shed, now covered in a thick paste, expanding and contracting, much like my own testicles do whenever I discover a particularly gut-wrenching Fortnite funny moment. Fuck if those don't slap me all about my nuts. But I needed to focus on this funky, rusty, kind of freaky-looking shed. Shit looked like the Earth's ballsack by that point. Fortunately, I had a trick up my sleeve. An ancient relic, something long thought lost and never seen before. From my plumber's overalls, I used the genuine Park Ave ore of only the finest glass. With a cry of "Plumbing's my game!" I shattered the orb, producing from it a powerful and bestial entity by the name of Criscus. This beast of Park Ave attacked the grotesque ballsack with ferocity, tearing into it as one might a fat fucking meatloaf. As Criscus destroyed my once glorious I turned to see that fucking plumber in the yellow clothing, giggling about my lawn. I needed to eliminate that little fuck before he could cause... shit. Before he could cause any more damage to my well-being. I pulled out my massive hammer, the size of which would be quite unreasonable for any tool shed use. Much more like a weapon from the medieval ages. It would be used to crush the opingas of my enemies. The plumber let out a squeal of unfathomable terror as I charged this small bastard and swung with the force of every ancestor I had. I blasted the little shit to hell and back. He flew into the sky, still squealing with force as he plummeted towards the moon. I looked back through the shed, which was now just a small pile of mush and bone of which Criscus had left for me. I walked to it to find the bastard whom called me. It was Luigi the whole time. I said, "Brother, why have you done such things to my beloved shed? I used to shit for many eons. Beyond this, I believe you had died in Afghanistan back in 2006, sir. What is the meaning of this bullshit?" And now a word from our sponsors.
Are you sick of purpose?
What is the meaning of this bullshit? This is my story.